your cut working? Your cut working?
Today we will talk about the traffic assignments methods in BTVism. So as you know, like the planning first in the procedure summary, we have like the trip generation and the trip distribution, model split, and then we have the trip assignments. So today we will talk about the trip assignments and what's the methods that we can use in BTVism to do the traffic assignments. So as an example, like for the input, like for traffic assignment, it's like peak hours, passenger vehicle, origin, destination, or D matrix, and also for the network we have the travel time, capacity, and the direction. So this is just an example for the input.
So the input, it is a demand and supply should be there. Okay.
And for the output, like also this is just an example for the outputs. We have the peak traffic volumes in each road, estimated travel times, volume to capacity ratio, or we could also call it like congestion levels. So as you can see here, this is just an example of output of traffic assignment in Visum. So assignments, actually what's assignment? Assignments like which route will they take, like the passengers or vehicle. So is it like the shortest, the fast, or the fastest, or the last costly route? So the overview of the private assignment procedure in BTVism. Like Vism provides several assignment procedure for the private transit. So we have like this static
Car and transit. As both.
Yeah.
But car and transit.
Yeah. So we have like static assignment and the dynamic. So for the static equilibrium assignment, it's the most important and frequently used assignment method, which is the static. The static for users in BTVism offers three methods for us.
So we will do static and dynamic.
We will.
You go over.
Yes. So for example, like for the statics, we have a classical equilibrium assignment and equilibrium assignment LUCE, and we have the biconjugate Frank-Wolf BFW. So for example, we have like
You go back.
so
We have the classical equivalent assignments, LUC, and then this is the Frank-Wolf. This is just algorithm to go ahead and do an equivalent assignment. Okay, you're going to describe all these.
Yes, and these the three methods that most people are using these three methods because they give like accurate result and easy to use. So this is an example from network for private transit. So for example, here we have example like the example analyze the relationship between traffic zone A, like a village A, and the traffic zone to city X here. So this is just like assumptions. So for example, the capacity and demand refer to 1 hour, and we have like a village, the trip demand between village A and city X is 2,000 car trips, and then here we have like we have 3 routes. For example, the first one is from here, like 1, 8, and 9, and the second one is from here, and the third one is like this one. And we will go like over so many examples using the same routes. Like for example, the first one, it's just from here, from the top. The second one is from the middle, and the third one is from the bottom here.
You can see the route 1 is the least expensive, okay, least costly.
Yeah.
Route 1 is the least costly, am I correct? 1 plus 9, 10, 10,
1
18.
plus
Then you have 10.
8 plus 9.
This one 1 plus 2, 3, 3, 6.
I think this one 1, 2.
6 plus,
Now these numbers is it's just like the number of the links. So
oh, it's not the.
yes, it's
not the timing.
no, it's not the timing. It's like just like link 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the number of the link, and this is the number of the node.
Okay.
And we will have so many examples talking about the same routes using different methods. So we have
he has 3 routes to go use.
yes,
Okay.
from A to X. And this is also like the parameters like for these like 11 links we have. So for example, the link 1 from 10 to 11, and the length is 500, capacity is 1,200, and the velocity or the speed is 100. So this is like we have parameters for all these roads or link. But as you can see here, number 4 it's 0 because here it's considered as closed road or something. So this is how this data look like in Visa. And all these examples are already implemented in the software.
Oh, again. So this is please look at like this one.
Yes, like so this is the input. Yes,
Okay.
and this is how it's look like. So this one is similar to this one, but I just zoom in to see like most vehicles are using route number 2. So traffic assignment method in BTV Vision. Here we will talk about the different methods that are already
These are the differences available in FISA. You have the increment, you have equivalent assignment, I don't know what you see the difference between them.
Yeah, we will
Equivalent assignment, this is for black and white, equilibrium. This is also modification. We call this stochastic assignment, bicycle forget it. Yeah, what is the truck, this one?
Yeah,
We're going to talk about it. Okay, simulation based assignment is the last one. Okay? And do we have simulation stochastic assignment is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, continue please.
So the first method we will talk about today is incremental assignment, then equilibrium assignment, then equilibrium assignment LUCE, then equilibrium assignment by conjugate. And then equilibrium.
These guys, for example, I think they go ahead and update they make a logarithm to reduce the time of conversion in the computer, okay? Continue.
And then the stochastic
Assignment.
then the TRIBUT equilibrium assignment. So this one they use it like for a toll analysis or something.
Like for example, just
Yes, yes, they can use this software. I mean this one is. And then the dynamic user equilibrium, DUE, which is dynamic user equilibrium. Then dynamic stochastic assignment, and then the last one is a simulation-based dynamic assignment (SBA). So here, as you can see, we skipped some of them. Like for example,
Yes.
What was well for you? To reach your mobile?
No, I'm just
I
taking
think-
notes.
Good.
so for example, the bicycle assignment, we just skip it from this presentation. And this presentation will just give like a brief introduction for all these methods. Some methods we will go deep, give examples. Some of them, for example, TR. This is just like an introduction. So the first method is incremental assignments. So in this method, like the incremental assignment divided the demand matrix on the percentage
For example, 40%, 30%, 30%, and so on. Okay.
and then the incremental assignment procedures models how the network continuously filled up. As you said, like we will add, for example,
So it depends. We make, for example, as last we spoke last time, we make it 60%, 30, and 60, 30, 10. It will not give you the same result as 20, 40, for example, like this. So it depends how you put the increment.
So here just like an explanation, like initial road user can initial like road users can use the free network for which exactly one short, and then the traffic network is then successfully loaded the 10% or 20% and incrementally. Yeah, as you can see, because of changing impedance, alternative shortest routes may be found in every step circle. For example, if we add 20%, maybe the shortest road will be different than the second iteration, third iteration. So as you can see here, the default, like in Vism, it's adding 33%, then 33%, then 34%. But
they don't want to load at the beginning. Okay. They sometimes say 33% is a good approximation of the reality. 30% of the load will be there. Okay. And then another 30%. So every time you load the network, the shortest path will be calculated again. I'll give you the time for each shortest path. Okay.
And in the example they add 50%, then 25, the example.
I show you last time when we have 800, 400, 300, what happened? Everybody go to the town. They don't normally go to the bypass. Because we load the matrix with heavy volume at the beginning, which is a mistake. Okay?
So if 100% is entered already in the Vism, so the Vism calculates the impedance of the current network and carry out the best route assignment.
Well, what I think if you put 100%, this is all or nothing assignment. Remember all or nothing assignment before. This is what will happen. Because what happened, he put the load, he take the shortest path from the beginning and forget about the other path.
Yes. So here the procedure of the incremental assignment, as you can see here, we have the input, and then the number of iterations here, and then the impedance, and then route search, and then volume, then the query. For example, if we have like 3 iterations, like n capital, and the n small is reached this one, so خلاص, it's end. And if no, we have to go for the second iteration, third iteration, and fourth iteration. So this is just an example for the incremental assignment. So this is the parameters for our network. We have, as you can see here, like for the first iteration, we selected the route number. So for the first iteration, it's here. We selected the route number 2 because it has the minimum of the less like impedance 18 compared to others. So we loaded like 50% of the vehicle.
Let's just step this one, Samir.
Yes, doctor.
Road number 2. Why it's selected? Which step? This one.
It's because in
He
route
selected
number.
Step number 1. He didn't start any calculations. He look at the network.
Yes.
He calculate the length, capacity, volume. No volume. Okay. The speed and the length, and he tell me the time. And the shortest path this was 1,
Is
2,
the
3, 5, 6, 7,
route number 2.
which is 18 minutes. So the first thing he load the network for 18 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, and see what is there.
So in the first iteration, we select route number 2, which is this one. We discussed before, and we said like we're gonna start with 50% of our demand. And as we discussed before, we have like in this all examples we're gonna have 2,000 trips going from A to X. So the 50% of 2,000, it's 1,000. So as you can see here, like the route number 1, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. As you can see here, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, we have 1,000 vehicles.
Okay.
And then we have the time. And then we can move to the next iterations, and then after this we can see like the second iterations. So after we calculated everything here, we can see now.
Root number one
Root
is the
number
timing
one
now 20,
has
2050 صح ولا لا؟
Yes.
20 whenever he loaded with 50%.
Yes, as you can.
Okay, which is now you can see that when they go to root number two, then this is the root number 2. صح؟
Yes, this is about two.
Okay, now when we will make another run, he should go to root number 1.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I mean the second iteration, we selected
Root number
root
one.
number one, which is
Because it is the lowest level time. Okay,
yes, yes, yes. So now we just have to look here, don't go there, because this is the first iteration
Right.
here. So the first iteration here, after we calculate these things, we can see that the root number one has this time.
20 minutes.
Yes, like 20 minutes. So we selected from the second iteration.
Okay.
As you can see, which is the root one. So root one is considered like link 1, 8, and 9.
It is 45 minutes.
No, but for now we have to look here.
I'll tell you what. When the incremental assignment done, he loaded on to 15%. Okay. So when he look at this root 1, 2, 3, where the short is bad, the short is bad.
Yes.
He load all the things here. Okay. Now he need to load another 50, another 25. Sorry, 25%. He look this one now instead of 80, it was how much?
20.
20, 50. Now we have 20, 50, 24, and 18, 45.
44.
So now we go to root number 1.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean we have to select.
Yeah, but I need to explain this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, to root number 1. So here now the 25 will come here. Then I recalculate the timing at root number 1 after I finish the 25%.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And as you can see here now, we will add 25%, which is from the 2000, which is only 500 vehicles. So you can see here now in the iteration number 2, we have 1,500 vehicles in link 1. Why? Because link 1 is considered for route 1 and route 2, as you can see here. 1 is considered for both. But in 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, we have only 1,000. So for example, here will be like here we will have 1,500 vehicles, but 1,000 will select this route and 1,500 will select this one. So as you can see, 500 will select the 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And then for the third iteration, now we have to select route number 1 again, because it has also the less impedance of power.
No, take
So, yeah.
So what does Hamad say? After putting the 1,000, okay, after the sum of the values here has been changed. It is, for example, this route number 1, it is what?
1,000 base.
There's a combination between these two, okay? Also, this is a combination between the, so this number will be increased. Route number 1 said 15, it will be how much? 20.5, because it has been added 1,000 in that route, okay?
And in the third iteration here, we select also the route number 1 because it has the less impedance, which is 29 compared with the others. So we're gonna add also like another 500. So yes, now you can see here like we're gonna have like 2,000 using the link 1.
Yes. And this will cost me just 7 in the route 2 and 1.
And also, as you can see, that the time is also changing, as you can see. So the third iteration, we have to do the same thing that we did like for the second one.
Is this example clear? Okay, continue.
So now evaluation of incremental assignment. So the disadvantage of this method is like the number and size of layers, partial matrices, largely depend on the quality of the result, and also like the calculation in after specific steps have been executed without checking the corresponding between the resulting traffic volume and the link impedance. So now let's move to the second method, which is equilibrium assignment. So in this one, the equilibrium assignment, we use the Wardrop's principle, which is like every road user select his route in a such way that the travel.
Where we use the second principle, Samir?
Wardrobe second.
Yeah, first principle we use the group assignment. Second principle, where we use it?
So,
Yes, Iman. You remember we said total expenditure. Remember we doing some simulation.
yes.
Stochastic, sorry. It's stochastic. Okay? We
Stochastic.
said it last time. We spent a lot of time studying this. So group assignment, most of the time you use wardrobe first assignment. Okay, principle. Okay, which is what? Explain it.
Which is like every road user select his route in a such way that the travel time on all alternative roads is the same, and that is switching the difference route would increase a personal travel time, and they call it like user optimum. So the user optimum, like it means that the same impedance result for all result traffic relation between results. So as you can see here, we have like similar or close like travel time for all routes, and then we have the system optimum. Here they are using they are minimizing actually the impedance, as you can see here. This one like the first and the first route and the second one it's minimized, but the third one it's increased because they said like sometimes the impedance will be above
Average.
So this is actually the difference between the user optimum and the system optimum. The user one, the user optimum, they have to make close or similar. The system they have to minimize, as you can see.
If you create the timing for each route, is nearly the same. You get delta, the difference is 0. Okay? 38.19, 38.22, 30. So there is a minimum difference. Okay? So you don't really change from route 1 to route 2. It's the same cost for him. And this is the total expenditure. Okay? Volume multiplied by what? The time. Here, this is system optimum. Okay, because system optimum, he doesn't talk about the expenditure in each route or the you need to minimize the total time in the network. Okay? You can see here the total time is 1,269, something like this. Okay? Is it clear? This was what last lecture. Okay, continue.
Yes, so the procedure of equilibrium assignments. So the objective like function minimize the integral of the impedance of all network objects, and the secondary condition. So here we have like some conditions like all path volumes have to be positive. All volumes of path from zone I to J have to be added from the total, and this is like just the conditions. So and also like the equilibrium, it's non-linear objective function. So the optimization problem is not solved directly by but like iteratively. So it's non-linear actually. This one, like the equilibrium. And as you can see here, this is the procedure of equilibrium assignment. it's just like input, loaded the network, and then we have to select the number of iteration, and then network balancing, and then route search, and then we have to go again to do the second iteration, so on and until we finish. And here we have example like for the equilibrium. As you can see here, we have the same network and we have the same routes. So for here we have like everything is the same from the previous methods, but here we have evidence that
we couldn't get you, Hamad. What you're trying to say?
yes.
It's stuck, huh?
لا أنا مثال ده مشابه.
Yeah, we already finished this one, the one downstairs. What is it?
They said like for the equilibrium we have to make like
The impedance of the links is determined from the current.
we are only focusing like in links but not in connectors, and connectors are assumed to be
0 minutes. Yes.
And then with regard to the top demand
The following
like
applies.
applicable like for example the capacity and demand referred to 1 hour. Here actually they just give the example, but they didn't explain like how to get these numbers. But
No,
I think we can
okay. But look here, this is the volume, okay? How much is the volume here?
It's 1,730.
صح ولا لا? The volume.
yes.
Go to the first, when you show us the capacity. You see the capacity there, how much? 1,200. So you can see here the saturation, it is above the capacity.
Yes.
Okay? And the curve, because there is a lot we just send in link number 1. Because you see the saturation is very high in this one. Look to link number 5, it's 105. Okay? What's link number 5 is 1200. Okay? And here 216. Okay? So whenever you look at these results, you can see that for which link they have a problem with it. Okay? We will look to the output. I have a problem here, why it is happening. Okay, link number 1 is clear because it is a starting. Everybody should go to link number 1. Okay.
So the evaluation of equilibrium assignments, he said like it's more realistic results, and also equilibrium assignment achieve the best computation times, and also like equilibrium assignment provides decent network values. And also like it's more accurate compared to other methods, like for example.
No, but don't do that. It's very important what you said here. This one, yes, read this again.
Yeah.
Compared to stochastic
assignment procedures. Stochastic assignment.
Equilibrium assignment provide a distinct word network volume. And this is what I told you before. Shafi, in his methodology, when he compared the stochastics and the equilibrium, okay. And he found that they are the same whenever we have congested network. So don't go ahead and kill yourself. Stochastic analysis and congested network. Okay?
Yeah.
Compared to the equilibrium methods.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Yes, and the second one, it's like compared to these methods, which
They are the best.
Also, yes.
They're okay. They give you the converting equivalent to the word. Okay, continue please.
And actually, most people they are using equilibrium assignment or equilibrium methods.
Yeah, but they use Frank and Wolf.
Yes, they also.
Let me ask you, the MAM model, which one they use?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know it.
Frank.
It's your baby. They use equilibrium assignment with the Frank Wolf.
Equilibrium assignment with the Frank.
Like you mean for the map?
Yeah, the MAM model.
Yeah, I remember they talked about it, but a long time ago.
Allah, yeah.
I forget.
No, it's for Wolf. Okay.
And now let's move to the third.
HLUC.
Linear user cost.
Mumtaz. Okay.
I know your task.
Linear user cost
Yeah,
equilibrium.
it's linear user cost equilibrium.
Explain it to us, please.
Yes, so for example, that the LUCE, it was was like provided by this guy, and he calibrated with BTV Vision, and also like to achieve a very high convergence speed by exploiting the inexpensive information provided by the derivatives of the arc.
Why he's looking to the converging factor, converging very quickly? Because if I have this software and this converge, for example, in 6 hours, and this is 1 hour, they give me the same results. And this is they're looking for a logarithm to reduce the time of conversion. Okay.
And the main idea of this method is to seek at each node a user equilibrium. So they are focusing like in each node of the model for the local route choice of the drivers. And here they actually explain these things, but it's still not very clear to me. So they said like here they have like, for example, we have the function, the cost function, which
This
is
is a demand and supply.
yes, and they said that the equilibrium is f prime, which is this one. So they said like the second one is for the alternative loss. So here we
No,
have
he didn't say equilibrium here. He said at this point,
yes, this
I have this demand and I have this supply. Okay, this one. Okay, and he said that if one and this equilibrium point where they meet. Okay, which is away from the equilibrium. He said.
yeah,
Okay,
equilibrium, which is
this point in one brand is far away. It's based on the local shifts or flow that. طيب جو باك انت لا تضحك علينا يا حمد. اكتب لي الاكزامبل هذا ما احنا فاهمين.
example.
هذا يجب.
Yeah.
Don't put something in the presentation
Yeah.
you don't know it. This is should be the trick يا حمد.
Just
Don't put in the presentation something you don't know. Okay?
okay.
Some people will ask you what is this?
So this is just
What is it?
yeah, okay.
ليه هنا ألف وهنا ألف وهنا
Yes,
ألف
for
وهنا
example.
صفر.
Yeah, so for example, they said like if from node 1 only 1,000 vehicle coming from here. So node A we're gonna have like that 1,000 is gonna be divided for 500.
طيب
Then they just gonna go from 1 to.
طيب كمل.
And here they said if 1,000 coming
أمشي.
from here, it's gonna be all.
Okay, then we put a point, okay? To minimize the expansion, okay? أمشي.
And there is
يعني البوينت هذه المينيمم حق الاكسبنشن، اوكي؟ كمل. أمشي.
now the fourth.
لا ارجع مرة ثانية. طب خليني اسألك. When you make analysis with this local LUC, okay? How is the result compared to others? Is it encouraging or is they said forget about it?
Actually, there are not enough information about this one. Only like they have, and also there is no example like for it in the.
But are they using it?
PTV, he collaborated with PTV
Because
to
this
produce
is an algorithm, but maybe it is not that good, يعني.
Visam.
Because it's not done on comparisons between converging wardrobe equilibrium, but it's not good. Okay? Continue. Because I couldn't see anything here that is converged. Okay? So maybe we shouldn't use it.
So the
This
fourth.
plug work is the best one. Okay?
Yeah, so for example, like this method, it's developed by this guy, and also like in 2000, it's implemented in 2013 as a publication of this guy.
Methodology.
So in Vism, the volume is moved like toward the shortest path with the fixed step size, and also like so this method it's like a convergence is enhanced through the relative gap with the same number of iterations. So it's just like so this method it's similar to equilibrium, but they just improved it and they have some enhancement to the number of iterations to make it I think faster. So also like so the procedure was parallelized and scaled based on the number of cores user. you use it. Sorry. And this is like the procedure for this method. So for example, we have the input, and then the impedance is unloaded to the network. Then we have to specify the number of iterations. Then the route search. Then we have the query, and then we can move like to the next step, and then we can go like to do the second iteration.
When he initial is starting, what's the volume to start with then, Iman? When he starts with this procedure, what's the volume you should put at the beginning, the computer? 3 equal to 0.
Yes.
Calculate the meters, then he distribute the volumes. Okay. Okay, continue.
Then
What the example?
there is no example actually.
Okay. This one, this procedure is the most procedure used, but I don't know about converting time. You need to compare Hamad, tell us about the converting time for each of these procedures. Okay, the literature, converting time, okay?
Now the fifth one, which is equilibrium.
The idea behind this methodology is to see how much converting time it will take. Okay.
So this one, it's developed by this guy Deloche, and it's distributed in 1997.
Okay.
So in this method, like they use the learning process, which means that, for example, starting with all or nothing.
All the procedure they start with all or
So,
nothing percent.
All or nothing percent.
To calculate the minimum cost. Then they start loading the network. Okay.
Yeah, and the assumptions like for this method is that, like the drivers consecutively like including information gained during the last leg journey. For example, like if you go from here to the mount using some routes, you will next time you will know like the journey time like for the next route. Like you will know that are you going to use the same routes or are you going to change? So it's based on learning process. So the total traffic flow is signed to the shortest routes found so far, like in every iteration steps. This is just an explanation, like for this one. So here we have the procedure for equilibrium loss. So it's like basically just have input, route search, and route volumes and impedance determination.
So I think the trick Lois is playing here for the converting. Okay, we're not going to detail, but he playing how to go ahead and you remember that Krakow, but we have 1 over number of iterations. So 1 over 1 over 1, 2 over 3 over 2, until he, for example, 1 over 10 iteration in his own. Go ahead and calculate the volume. All of them, they use the same concept we're talking about Krakow. But the idea is how to go ahead and it will go ahead and get delta equal to 0 for load drop. Yes, this is what we need, Hamad. It is what we need.
Yeah, we have
الله
example.
يسهل.
Yeah, here you can see that you have the input and iteration 1, iteration number 2, and number 3. But we will go on details for.
ايه ممتاز لانه لما كذا تقفل الله.
It's just an introduction. So, for example, the in iteration number 1, as you can see here, we selected like the lowest.
Route number 2.
Yes, which is route number 2, and we know that route number 2 is like going this way. So we are selecting link number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The shortest path.
Yes, which is the shortest path. And then we have to calculate like we will go on. So for example, we have the demand is also given 2,000 vehicles going from A to X. And then how to calculate the volume? We know like it's 2,000. So we just said like 2,000 for all these links going from A to X using these links. And then we have to calculate the R1. R1 is basically like just using this equation. So it's also given. So for example, the R1 is here. It's just like 3 minutes, which is given like as an input times 1 plus 2,000, which is the demand, and divided by 1,200, which is the capacity, and it gives us like 11 minutes 20 seconds, as you can see here.
This is
11
3
minutes 20
minutes.
seconds for all these things.
3 minutes.
Yes, the
One
20
over
minutes
two.
it was given here.
1 to 7, okay, is going to be the section. Okay.
2000, which is the demand going from A to X, divided by 1,200, which is the capacity. And then square, that's all. This is going to be squared, then it's going to give us like 11 minutes.
Why? What is this 3, Samir? This 3 minutes. Why is it 3 minutes? Yes, Ayman. It is time. It is what?
So time, sir.
Free flow,
Free
speeds, and the time.
Free
The free flow is the travel time. Remember, there is no cars.
We have this speed also.
And then, the free flow speed is 3 minutes. Then this is the factory. So, 2,000 divided by what? 1,000 is the capacity to the power 2. Remember the Beer Republic, the equations?
Yes.
So now we know like how to get 2,000, we know how to get R1, which is,
Now this is R1, this is the timing.
yeah, now we will,
And then you get the deltas and R1, okay?
yeah, then we can move to this one. But to find R1,
Modify.
yes, we have to find this thing, so we will explain it here. So for example, you can see like we have the R0, like it's 3 minutes, it's given here, which is 180 seconds. Then we have also the R1, which is 11 minutes 20 seconds. We just get it from here. And then we have this equation to find TT1, which is
Before and after.
yes, before and after, which is like the 680 minus 180 divided by this one. It's gonna give us like 2.78, which is this one.
Exactly.
This one here. And then we have to use this equation to get like these numbers. So for example, here we have this equation.
I will not ask you in the exam how to do this equation or something like that, okay? But just to see how much is the algorithm done, this is different than the one that we studied, okay? Because everyone will go and think about a procedure that will convert it quickly.
And then we have this equation, which is like delta top, delta bottom, it's also given. So we just use these numbers, and this one is we find it from here using this equation. Everything here is given except this one TT1, which is we just get from here 2.78, and then we get this number, use it this equation to get this one. So we now we get this one and this one also. This one is here. This one is
Then we have,
delta.
okay.
And then we can calculate the minutes, which is here. So it's so we can use this equation. So just using these numbers and these equations.
We just put the values.
Yes, just put the values, and then we will get like 420 seconds, which is
Divided by
7
60.
minutes. Yes, it's like 7. So this is the procedure to fill out these tables for route number 1. As you can see, like 8, 9, 10, 11, it didn't change because we didn't do anything to it. And then now we can move to the second iteration. So this was the first iteration. From the first one, we can see the lowest is for route number 1. So we select route number 1, which is route number 1, which is 189, like this. So we do the same thing exactly. So for now the volume, it's gonna be like before it was like 2,000. Now, now we divided like 1,000 because before it was only 2,000 going from using this route. Now,
No, because you have iteration number 2,
yeah,
the volume will have the demand.
yes, have the demand. For example,
One number 2, the iteration number 2.
yeah,
This is one number 2, the iteration next will be one number 2.
yes, you mean the,
Because this is iteration number 2,
yes,
so the volume will be one number 2.
1 over 2, yes, 1 over 2 exactly, because at the beginning we have only one route, which is this one, and then this one. So 2,000 vehicles using this only this route, but now we have 2 routes, which is this one and also this one. So 1,000 would use route number 2, and 1,000 would use route number 1. So as you can see, because link number 1, it's considered both routes, so it's now 2,000. But after that, like as you can see here, route number 2. So from the 2000, 1000 gonna go here, and link number 8 also 1000 gonna go here. So it's divided.
Okay, move.
So this I just select like.
And calculate the new timing.
Yes, I selected by random, like just to show how to get this one, 2 and 8, because as you can see here the time is changing. It's, before it was the same because we have one route.
This is the view. Okay.
And this is how to get.
Yes.
How
Go
to
to the
get
last step. Move. Second step is station number 3. Yes.
Iteration number 3.
Show me iteration number 3. Yeah.
Yes.
Speak aloud.
Iteration number 3 now, the volume will be divided by 3 because we have 3 routes, like 1 and 2 and 3. But route number 1, so for example, 2000 divided by 3, it's going to give us like 667. And why 1 has the double? Because 1 is considered route number 2 and route number 1. But 10 is considered only the 10 routes, as you can see.
Because one distributed twice, and number 8, and number 6, sorry. Number 6 twice, number 7 twice, okay, and number 1 twice, okay? Okay.
And then and then that's it. But here we do the same thing iteration 3, but actually they want us to. To see, like for example, when we have one route, we have only 11 minutes for all links. But when we have 2 routes, as you can see here, the time is dropped to 5 minutes. Some of them increase. That's because we just talked about this. Like for example, route number 1, the capacity is 1,200, and here the volume is like it was above the capacity, so we have more time here. The second one is the same thing, but for example, like route number 8, we have.
Show us the end of the iteration. Show us the end of the iteration.
Yeah, this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Where is the first?
This one is the last one.
Route number 1, 35 minutes. Route number 2, 37. Route number 3, 47. صح? This is not compared to wardrobe or global. This one, maybe the other calculation that you should do to compare. Okay? This is didn't compare. Okay?
Yes.
This is didn't compare. Okay, because the order should be equal
Yes.
time. Okay? Okay? Right. Come. Most, by the way, the assignments methods, they use Frankenwolf. Okay? Allography.
In this method, the equilibrium of the equilibrium method produce realistic and stable results, and also like we have to do more iterations, as you said before, because like a greater number of iterations is still necessary for our good solutions. And here we have the sixth one, which is the stochastic assignments. So for this one, like, so for this one, we are using the logit, and we are using also others method. We will talk about it in the next slides. So for this one, the choice of what it depends on the road users and individual performance, which are not showing in the methods, which is the stochastic analysis and assignments. Yeah, so the stochastic, the procedure assume the traffic principle and principle like select the best routes.
Okay. The stochastic assignment, why we say logit or Kirchhoff or Boxer Cox or that, because what we are saying is not deterministic, it's probabilistic. The probability that you go that route is 60 better, 70 better. So it's different, okay?
And the result in the following sequence, as you can see here, the first step, the road search for all traffic cells for current impedance. Second one, then the third one, and then we have just to go again and again to do all these steps. It's also explained here. But in the procedure, we have the external and internal iterations For the external, as you can see here, the top, this is the until here. This is the external, and this is the internal, the second one. So here we have the internal and external calculations. The internal we have to use the M, and so it's a start from here. And the top one is the external.
When you will stop the calculation?
Yes, it's like so. For example, the loop is repeated until either